Hi students, we're going to practice using the product rule for derivatives. So let's look at this first example. We're going to find the derivative of the product of two quantities. So we have t squared plus 3t plus 4 multiplied by the polynomial, the binomial, 7t squared plus 5. So here's how the product rule looks. When we take the derivative of a product of two things, they can be two polynomials, they could be a single term multiplied by another single term too. We want to follow the product rule. So we'll consider our first function f and our second function g. So you take the derivative of the first function multiplied by the second function, so the original second function, and then we'll add to it the derivative of the second function times the first function. It is not f prime plus g prime. So it's not just that, it's a little bit more complicated to use the product rule. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to follow my rule here and take the derivative of the first function of f. So the derivative of t squared plus 3t plus 4 will be 2t plus 3, and then you know the derivative of 4 is just gone. And then we're going to multiply that by g, which is 7t squared plus 5. Then we're going to add to that the derivative of the second function, the derivative of 7t squared plus 5, which will be 14t, multiplied by the first function f, t squared plus 3t plus 4. Unfortunately, we can't leave our answer just like this. We have to simplify it and get to a point where we have just a single polynomial where all terms, like terms, are combined together, added or subtracted. So let's go ahead and FOIL or multiply out these two binomials. So I'll have my 2t times my 7t squared, which will be 14t cubed. I'll multiply 2t times 5, which is 10t. 3 times 7t squared, which is 21t squared. 3 times 5, which is 15. So that's my first terms before the addition sign here. Now we're going to distribute this 14t to all three terms in the second part. So we'll have 14t times t squared, which will be 14t to the third power, or cubed. And then we will have 14t times 3t, which is going to be 42t squared. And then we'll have 14t times 4, which is 56 times t. Here's a single polynomial, but we have some like terms here. For example, we have a 14t cubed and a 14t cubed. So we'll want to add those together to make 28t cubed. We have a 10t plus a 56t. Oh, but I can't do those right now. So let's go ahead and first of all, think about my t squared term. I want to have my answer in decreasing order of degree. So I combine together my cubic terms. I can cross those out if it helps you. As you deal with them, you simplify them, they're gone. Then I'm looking at what I boxed in here. 21t squared plus 42t, 63t squared. Remember, when we add together terms, we don't change the variable. It's like you have 21 apples, you're adding 42 apples. You have 63 apples, not 63 oranges. We keep the same variable here. Cross those out. Now I can add together my 10t and my 56t to make 66t. Cross those out. And then I'm left with my constant, which I only have one of, which is 15. That is my derivative of the product of two functions. Bye.